Alright, what's going on, guys? It's your boy ChasmRift here, and today we got a Dragon Ball Super episode video with my boy Big A.
I'm back.
Yeah, so first things first about episode 111. Let's talk about Jiren versus Hit. How do you feel about that matchup?
Oh man, I thought it was gonna be way closer than it was. So yeah, you were right.
Yeah,
You were right for the last episode. Oh yeah, it was not a fair matchup.
yeah, I knew it. Like, I just knew Jiren was gonna stomp him, and I just laughed when Hit did a time skip, and then Jiren literally stomped him. And then
Yeah, I was like, wow, really? I after so much effort into that move.
uh, I I get what Hit was doing. I think I said this in our last episode, like when we were doing speculation, or maybe I said this off camera. But I did talk about how Hit he does adapt in the fights, and that's what he did to counteract Dispo when they fought like 10 episodes ago or so. But I don't think adapting is enough to beat Jiren, and from what we saw, that was obviously right.
Yeah, Hit even talks about adapting to Jiren's counterattacks, but even then, the best thing he could do with the time skips was, keep him busy, not even actually attack him, just to keep him, uh, what's it called, dodging or blocking his attacks, so he can keep on fighting him.
Yeah, I mean, I commend his efforts in the fight in that he was able to like stall for time a little bit, but things things were grim the moment he couldn't hold back Jiren with that new like trump card move he had,
Yeah,
and
the
what else was he? It, it was demoralizing the moment he saw that Jiren was walking through that move because I mean he ascended time, and half the time in the fight wasn't even over.
yeah, it's like it was his trump card move where he literally traps Jiren in time. And then you see Jiren. I mean, albeit he is struggling, he is kind of like moving slowly. But the fact that he's moving at all, we see this from one of the Kais from one of the universes. They mention that Jiren's power literally transcends time itself.
I mean, that's like very interesting to think about because like the only characters we ever seen like transcend time was Merge Zamasu when he became when he went through all the macrocosms throughout his universe timeline, and then he spilled over into other timelines, and then Zeno had to destroy him. Like that's the only other
Right.
time we've seen that.
But even then, they had the time ring,
Mm-hmm.
and this dude just does it with pure power.
Yeah, I don't know if the time ring like plays a role in like being able to like spill into the universes. I just think like just overall power wise, like the fact that their power was so
Yo,
great, it reached into the other universes. Jiren is doing this in a void full of infinite nothing. And if you read any comics, if you talk about infinity, as much as I hate like them bringing that number up or quote unquote number, it's usually something big in terms of a feat.
yeah, dude is hella crazy, and which what is more shocking than that, I guess, is Ultra Instinct. How much power does that have?
Yeah, it's debatable on if Goku could beat Jiren in enough forms. What we seen, it seemed like he could, and I think I'm echoing on your side.
Maybe a little bit. I don't know why.
Huh. Well, well, how about we segue into Frieza versus Goku if we can? What are
All
your thoughts
right.
about that?
My thoughts is that I'm on a hot streak because I'm right again.
Boy,
I'm
yeah,
I'm the expert predictor.
yeah, you're right about Frieza actually giving Goku some power,
Yeah,
but
like he even starts screaming. He's like, ah! But in reality, he got some of his strength back.
yeah, but you know I was right when I said that. Like, man, Frieza doesn't want to deal with Hit. I mean Jiren.
Yeah, no, yeah, Jiren. Yeah, I guess that trumped his evil side.
I mean, like we don't know what Frieza's motives are in this tournament. He did hint at them a little bit when he told Goku, "Yeah, you still got to go out there and do your thing because I don't want to deal with Jiren." But at the end of the day, Frieza's not going to become an MVP if he's just gonna let Goku go to eliminations.
Yeah, I really want to see what his motive is.
This is getting very interesting, and it blew all expectations out the water in terms of Frieza. Speaking of like background characters, I mean Frieza kind of is a background character so far in this tournament. How about we talk about the two boys, Piccolo and Gohan, defending Goku, their homeboy, their father, their brother, their uncle, whatever you want to call them, versus those two Namekians.
You know they had to protect their daddy.
Oh man, that sounds so weird.
The two green boys.
Man, you mean how it was father and son versus the Namekians after defending Gohan from, we'll just say his adopted father. Because let's be
His
honest,
adopted father.
yeah, let's be honest, Piccolo is Gohan's father.
Uh, that looks super cool. We definitely didn't know that they were Namekians beforehand.
I
So,
mean,
yeah,
I
cool
mean,
to see Saiyans and Namekians.
I don't want to like pop your bubble or like spoil your parade or something, but like I kind of knew there were Namekians in the tournament. I didn't know there were two. Like I remember seeing one of them. I think during the rundown when they were talking about the remaining teams. People in the community have been like speculating about the Super Namekian, which has been talked about since the Universe 6 and 7 tournament fight. But like I was just surprised to see like the Namekians actually make an appearance in the fight, and it's actually Piccolo squaring up against them.
Yeah, it's the Super Namekian, dude. I've always wanted to see that. Uh, Not to spoil this episode, but wasn't that also like mentioned in Dragon Ball GT at some point?
GT. I don't know. I think I don't know if it was actually mentioned in GT, like the Super Namekian. I do know like they're talking about like a Namekian, just like overall in Dragon Ball Z, like just an entire continuation. Like they're talking about a Namekian who's so strong that like he had next world levels of power. Like I know they talk about that a lot in Super. I
Right.
don't know if GT ever mentioned that because we hardly got to see any of the characters besides Goku, Pan, and Trunks, and GT and canon. That's all I just got to say.
Yeah, fuck GT.
Yeah, we were just talking about this off camera before we started recording. What do you think these guys are at power wise? These two Namekians.
You mentioned this. We only saw so much. But the fact that they can go against Piccolo and Gohan makes me think they're somewhere in the realm of Super Saiyan 2, maybe 3.
For me, I do know like power wise, Piccolo is just a notch above like Cell in power, which is weird to think about because in just a few years of Dragon Ball Z, he went from being 1/10 of Radix strength to actually being on par with Android 17. And not just a couple of years. Like, granted, he did absorb the Mechians, but still, that that happened in just like 3 to 4 years. Well, never mind, like 6 years or so, because Gohan he grew up during that time. He was like 4 to 11, so 6 to 7 years to Piccolo to do that. We're here in between Dragon Ball Z time skip all the way to Super. He only hit Cell level, which is pretty sad, but nonetheless, that is pretty strong. In terms of these two Namekians, I want to say they're around Kaba's level, or maybe weaker because they would not be on the team if they were any stronger than him. Uh, want me to explain by that?
Uh, yeah, go ahead.
What I mean by that is, remember when we had the Universe 6 vs 7 tournament? They
Yep.
picked up their five strongest warriors.
Hmm.
We saw that Kaba made it on the squad. And granted, Kaba isn't the weakest, but the thing is, when he went Super Saiyan, he went to an even higher level, a level that I think he's higher than Magetta now. As for the other five people who are now on their team, there's a reason why they weren't on the tournament. Like, of course, we know like Kale and Khalifa, we didn't know what their power would be holding back. They didn't know anything about Super Saiyan, so I give them a pass there. That Doctor Fuji guy, wherever his name is, he got blown back in one hit,
Yeah,
and
useless.
yeah, I think these two Nabekians, I don't think they would have been like sitting out of the tournament if they were any stronger than like the likes of Kaba and Magetta. So I think if they're just a notch below them.
So you think they're just around Super Saiyan 1?
I say Super Saiyan 1. most likely no higher than like the original Android level.
Wow, that seems way weaker than I originally thought. But
I mean,
if they did allude to the Super Namekian, who knows? Maybe
yeah,
they are stronger.
they could pull that trump card out of their ass if they want to, but like that was just me like comparing, let's putting one and one together. You know, we
Ooh,
see.
hey,
Hmm?
another thing though, they can merge to become like the Super Namekian or something like that.
Honestly, I think that's actually what they might do. I'm glad you mentioned that. Like that just sparked in my mind. Like the reason Pillow even became strong was because he merged with Nail and then Kami.
Right.
These two Namekians, if one of them like is on the brink of death, that's nothing stopping the other one from merging with him. And
Yeah, they can definitely do that.
if that happens, then yeah, we got ourselves a real like fight then. But
Yeah, that's gonna be super
yeah,
cool.
yeah, as in like their strength. The reason I like speculated that was because like these guys obviously would have been in the previous tournament if they were any stronger than like our version of Super Saiyan, and by that you mean like being able to complete the feast that like Goten and Trunks can do right now. I feel like
Right.
they would have if they could have easily mastered that, they would have been the tournament instead of like Kaba and Magetta.
Yeah, that's why I really want to see more out of our characters. That's why I want to see more of Piccolo and their fights and Frieza and his fights.
Yeah, but we can talk about like Vegeta versus Ribrianne, basically like fight number two with these dudes. What are your thoughts about that?
Uh, I just don't understand why they just don't eliminate her. She's supposed to be super powerful. At one point, she's even doubting that they can win, and then like
Exactly.
her teammate comes over and is like bitch slaps her.
All right, like I know they're like pulling off homages to like different like shows where you got like Sailor Moon, you got magical girls and all that, but at
That
this
was super weird. Just saying, that was super weird. That
it is.
scene was super weird.
It really was. I thought the moment she like screeched a little bit, like had a high pitched tone, you think Vegeta would have heard that and he came back. Like like yeah, the Stormer is big, but let's be honest. Like in some of the cinematic shots we've seen, if you hear the character talks, everyone hears the character talks.
Yeah, like seriously.
Yeah, but I, I wish they just get rid of her. Like she's the most annoying character in the tournament.
I feel like this is just filler, like
Yeah.
to the extent that they're like just abusing it. They're like, you know what? You have to deal with this. Too bad.
That's honestly what they're doing. Like I understand, like you know, she was the most interesting character we've seen ever since we seen the preview. Like besides Jiren, of course. Like we seen Goku versus Jiren. We seen Goku destroy Bergamo, and then we seen Ribrianne fight Super Saiyan Vegeta. Not even Blue. This is just Super Saiyan Vegeta. That's the only reason she was even relevant was because of that preview. You know, so I don't even understand why they're extending it out this much.
Yeah, unless you're gonna pull out a huge ass heart out of your ass and like throw it at somebody like a spirit bomb, then you're useless.
What they should have just done was say like, I forgot the people's name because I'm just thinking about this on top of my head. The people who taught Goku like the fusion dance. Now, unless they said like her and her friends are like part of that race and they fuse together, honestly, that would have been cool, because I think they're above Super Saiyan 2 levels, possibly. All her friends, and if they merged together, or at least two of them merged, we got ourselves like an actual formidable foe.
Well, doesn't look like that's gonna happen because
Mm,
they've been around for a long time and they haven't done anything yet.
yep, I think they would have made note to that, like how Goku. I mean, like how Vegeta just pointed out, oh wait, is that a yard rat? And Goku's like, oh yeah, that is a yard rat. Like, let's be honest, it's been nearly 2 decades since Goku was on Planet Yard Rat. How the hell does Vegeta like point that out that a Yard Rat is present at the tournament unless it was written in there on purpose?
Was Vegeta even on that planet?
He wasn't. But I was like wondering
How
like
would he know what a Yardrat looks like?
that's a good question. I think it was
That's
just
the
weird. Like I
that's
remember,
just a big mistake. That's a big editing mistake
yeah.
right there.
Hopefully I'm wrong when I say that because in the intro I remember it was Goku and Vegeta talking about the Yard Rat. But like when they were looking at the universes, they were just pointing out things immediately. Like when Universe 4 got called up, they was like, oh snap, they only got 8 warriors. Like everyone else saw it besides Goku.
Yeah, true.
Oh well, we'll hopefully find out why they are still in this tournament because I hope they're not just filler. Like that's what
Yeah,
it feels
back
like
to
right
the
now.
relevant news. Saiyans.
Oh yeah, time to talk about Universe 6 and 7 Saiyans and a little bit of the preview while we're at it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So since you usually go first, I think it's my turn to take the reins of going first.
Go ahead.
Um, we got ourselves the likes of Kaba, Kale, Khalifa, Goku, and Vegeta. Oh yeah, and also Gohan, but he can't go Super Saiyan, so there's that. Um, I think they're all going to be pretty badass when it comes to working together and just having their own moment in the spotlight. I think you could agree with me there.
No, yeah, definitely. I just want to see because they only showed them teaming up together. I want to see what kind of people they go up against.
Yeah, that's true. Like I remember they said Universe 4, like big character. She's finally going to be out there fighting. The one
Maybe
who's
one of the Invis people. Who knows?
no, I don't know if it's going to be one of the invisible people, but they might as well throw them in there at this point. Like half the
Yeah, why not?
tournament's over.
Yeah, like why not?
Yeah, like I think it's going to be very interesting because Universe 4 to this point has been nothing but fodder. Like everyone they threw out there has been eliminated easily. Like no difficulty besides no difficulty.
That's true.
Yeah,
Just
like
one powerful dude, and then everybody else is not as powerful.
it's not even that that dude was even powerful. It's the fact that he fought Roshi, who we can who was debatable to be at Super Saiyan 1 levels right now. This dude was claiming to be getting stronger with every second. Yeah, he got destroyed by a Kamehameha wave. So I can't even call him strong at that point.
Yeah, like either Roshi improved a hell of a lot, or this guy was not as strong as everybody thought.
Yeah, like granted, I remember when they first showed him in like when they first introduced him, and he was one of like Universe's 4 spies. He had one of the best designs I've seen out of a Dragon Ball character. Like he came in, he is introduced by his team with him flipping around and then landed looking like a bouse. And then he's
Honestly, though, the hair is such a Super Saiyan ripoff to me.
dude, but you gotta admit his hat was pretty dope that he wore.
Yeah, his overall style was pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that he was able to like. I was speculating him to be somewhat strong because in the beginning of the tournament when Goku was running,
It's
he got
420.
boy in the beginning of the tournament he he got in the way of Goku and he was actually taking like he was actually taking base Goku level punches like no difficulty, which yeah, it's base level Goku, but Goku's base is probably stronger than Super Saiyan 3 back in Z.
Yeah, because we even saw in the Resurrection F, uh, Frieza couldn't beat Goku in his final form.
Yeah. All right. Since we are hitting the 18-minute mark and we're almost out of time for your 20-minute clip, let's do the ratings real quick.
Uh, 5.
You give it a 5 out of 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. I want to give it. I think I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 7. Not because I think the episode was good. Like I'm giving it a 6 out of 7 because we're finally getting to see some progression. We got to see Hit get eliminated, which was a little shocking. Like it was expected, but shocking. And Frieza did the unexpected.
Yeah, I agree with that. The freeze and the hit parts were really cool. But the reason I give it a 5 and not a 6, definitely not a 7 because it's not up there, is because of the filler. Like so much of
Uh,
it is just unnecessary.
I agree there. I mean, I'm glad they kept it to a minimum. To be honest, like they could gave us like 7 minutes of filler, like when Brianni and company first transformed. We watched that happen twice. I'm glad they didn't do that.
That was BS. Anyways,
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching this video. We apologize for any audio issues if it makes it into the clip of any slight echoing. Uh, be sure to leave a like down below if you do enjoy this content. Be sure to
or I'm
leave
gonna
us,
come to your house and press that like button for you.
or that will happen, guys. Anyway, I gotta get out of here. The gates fell open, and I guess I gotta go close them. So, bye. Thanks, Alex, for coming by.
Sure.